Hello, I'm so sorry we were cursed with such bad internet signal this evening, especially when you're playing at just such an awesome level. I'm grateful at least that we had that I had that opportunity to listen to you play the whole thing through, and I could hear you all the way through, which is brilliant. The picture glitched a bit, but that doesn't matter. I could hear you loud and clear, and you are playing that piece to a really high standard. So well done. I just wanted to make this video for a couple of reasons. Really, I will get to the point in a minute. One, just to kind of summarise the points and the bits of advice that I made today, because obviously with such a glitchy connection, some of it might not have been too clear. And then secondly, just as importantly, to wish you well for tomorrow. And yeah, I've got no doubt at all you're going to play really well. But just a summary of the bits that we looked at today. So the main body of the song, of the piece, is absolutely brilliant. I think really good energy. You've got a good control over the pulse as well, which is good, because I think in a piece like that, the temptation to speed up as you kind of keep going would be quite great, but you don't do that. You keep a good sort of steady control of the beat, and that makes it sound a lot better, a lot more pro. With that first page, so we're not talking about the first line here where it's big and fortissimo, but that build up over the rest of the page. As we discussed, it almost doesn't matter what you do, but you've really got to do something to make that interesting, basically, because through no fault of your own, the writing there on its own is quite sort of static. G G G G G G chord, G G G G chord G G. We've got 18 bars of that. So remember in the lesson when I got you to just do something different with those G G G G G G bits, whether it's play some loud, some quietly, some with crescendos, some with diminuendos. When you sort of made it up as you went along, it sounded great. It kept me listening. It's really engaging. So I don't know whether you heard this bit because of the dodgy signal, but I've suggested you get the pencil and literally right above line 2, do something, just as a reminder to yourself that when you get to that point, it doesn't really matter what you do. You don't have to plan it to the nth degree where you're going to crescendo, blah, 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 but do something to make that 3-line section as rich as it was when you played it to me with all the dynamics and stuff. That was really cool. Another suggestion I was going to make with that section, if you're not already, think about using the una corda, the soft pedal, the left-hand pedal. I think what I might do, I would be tempted to have that pedal down maybe for the first set. Where am I? Maybe for the first line or so of that section, just to kind of soften the tone a little bit. Just a thought of, it's an extra thing that you can add in to make one bit of that section different from another. And then fast forwarding to the last 8 bars, really, because everything in the middle I was really happy with. Make absolutely sure, again, this is just sort of performance, sort of stagecraft rather than anything to do with the sound. Make sure you keep that final note, or that that final set of notes held down until you're held down and pedal down until you're finished. Give it as long as you want. It's got a pause over it. It's got a fermata over it. So as long as you then everything up at once. It's a small detail, but things like that really make a difference. The only other thing I was going to say with the ending, specifically with the very last line, I would personally slow down a tad towards the end. You don't have to, but I think it would just make it sound much more sort of purposefully finished. Everything up. Just a thought. You don't want to sort of, you want to make the ending sound deliberate. You don't want to risk it sort of sounding like, oh, he's finished, it's done, sort of thing. Just a small detail there. So yeah, dynamics and variation in the first section. Making sure the ending really truly sounds like an ending. You could use the soft pedal for the ending. If you're not already, I wouldn't change that though, because that sounds great. I would just make sure that you at least have a little bit of a little bit of slowing down towards the end, even if it's not as much as I just did. Just a little something to really announce and finished kind of thing. But otherwise, absolutely great. So as I said, just as importantly, in fact, most importantly, a huge well done. I mean, I'm seriously so proud of how well you're playing that. You've put so much work into it, and you know, it just goes to show what you can do. So all the very best for tomorrow. I'll be thinking of you. I'm sure it's going to go really well. The last thing I wanted to suggest is a piece that I'd like you to listen to, because I've got it kind of mentally earmarked as something to get you to try in a week or so, and it's by Einaudi, who I know you've played some of his stuff before. But listen to a piece by him called Elegy for the Arctic, if you can get hold of it on YouTube or Spotify or something like that, or wherever you young people get your music from. Yeah, Elegy for the Arctic by Einaudi. It's got a lot in common with Beautiful Lie, and I think that would be quite a good one to get you to have a look at. But yeah, all the very best for tomorrow, and look forward to hearing how it went. Take care. Have a great week.